proudest day, and the proudest time in the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all was said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.
Welcome along to Krunching Gears, the Rally Podcast, Season 2, Episode 34. Once again, another busy show. This week we speak to McRae, and then we speak to Teac Brennan, and then Ryan McHugh, Declan Boyle, and then finally we catch up with Paddy Robinson. Like, I suppose, Connor, before we say anything, can you please like, subscribe, rate, comment, all those things. If you can please do it, you keep doing it. What you're doing, it makes a huge difference, and the figures of the last few weeks has been fantastic, so appreciate all that there. Connor, I suppose really, the Cambrian Rally the previous week there was where it was all at, and fantastic results for the Irish once again.
Yeah, listen, it was great. Final round of the British Rally Championship. We had a junior BRC championship to be decided on the event between Kyle McBride and Kyle White, and then, you know, really strong interest from Irish competitors on the event as well.
Yeah, like Hannah McKillop, who had been on the show the previous week, took a fine second overall with Gary Pearson, and then Alan Carmichael had a good result. But really in that, you know, the Rally 4 category is where it was all happening for the Irish. You know, absolutely brilliant. Like, I think more or less a clean sweep of it. Like, Kyle White took the Junior British Championship. After a lot of bother in the morning, he seemed to, you know, the car seemed to be really struggling, but it was imperative he reached the end, and he just, I suppose, had to drive for the championship in mind, keep the head down and just keep knocking in the kilometres.
He did, yeah. A few technical issues. I think the ECU unit was playing up amongst other things, and look, he kept the head. He had to drive for a finish, and he did that. Although, you know, Kyle McBride was nipping at the heels there, and another really strong drive was Jack Brennan, who we speak to later as well. He had a fantastic drive on the event.
Yeah, like it's only, you know, Jack's second rally in a Rally 4 car, you know, and like to, you know, go there and compete and won the category overall, like a brilliant result, really is, you know. Yeah, and then you know, we've also got Jack Harris there. He was out in the R2 Festa, you know, the older spec car, and a great drive for him as well.
Absolutely. Listen, strong drive for him, finished 8th overall. And then in another, Peugeot Rally 4, we had Keelan Grogan as well.
Yeah, and like Keelan's only done a handful, even a handful of gravel rallies. And like we know how quickly he has been tired this year, so to see that pace carried over onto the gravel, it's like we keep saying it, but this drove of young talent coming up through, it's fantastic. It really is, isn't it?
Absolutely. And again, another one there, Aoife Raftery as well was taking part. Now, unfortunately, had a 10-second penalty added onto her, but, you know, certainly had the morning part of the loop, certainly had a stronger drive there until a few issues in the afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we are in such a good place, you know, and that's great to see. And speaking of young talent coming up through, I got a chance to speak to Max McRae. You know, what can we say about the McRae name that hasn't already been said? But like Max, I definitely think is going to be the next big thing, you know, in that family there too. So let's hear from Max. You spent a year now doing the ERC. The times have been good, but just a few issues here and there just to kind of maybe take the edge off it a wee bit.
Yeah, the times have always been good, and overall it's been a good season. Never mind the problems we've had, because we've gained so much experience and learnt so much. So you can't really always look at them. So you always got to take the positives. But the pace has always been there, and we've always felt like we'd always been doing the right thing. So we just hasn't come together for us. But it's only our first year in Europe anyway, so there's a lot more to come, and hopefully it will come together soon in the ERC.
Yeah, because like, you know, the variety of surfaces, you know, the variety of events, it's a great place for learning the ERC, and the promotion around the whole championship is really up a level in the last year or two as well.
Yeah, it's very good. It's all professional. Like there's no events that are better run than others. They're all very professionally ran. and then of course you've got the promoter there as well. So it's all live and all on the Rally TV now, which is very cool. So it's very good publicity for the sport, and I mean for of course the young drivers as well. And yeah, the juniors is just so competitive right now, and it was so tough this year. But it was also very good to have those other young guys against you in the same cars and the same roads. And obviously, my first time, it was only my second tarmac event apart from Donegal, so that was a big learning curve, and it was very good to be kind of on the pace on only my second tarmac event. So there was so many positives to take away.
Yeah, because like, as you say, like it's the same team behind it that's running promoting the WRC events, and they're going about it in the same way, live stages, making it very spectator friendly and all that there too. So there's a lot of eyes on you then as well too. That's good then for helping with sponsorship and all that as well, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. There's always live TV, so you've always got your car. Well, not always for us, unfortunately, because we're a bit further back. But you always get the really good the camera footage at the end of the events, and everyone like they take care of you with all the social media wise. So there's always good, and it's very beneficial for sponsors in this type of events with all this social media surrounding it. It's very close to a WRC event. Or pretty much is the same as a WRC event in terms of social media and branding, so it's very good.
Excellent, excellent. And then just a couple of weeks ago, you got the opportunity to go over to Rally Legend, as the whole McRae family, and like a celebration of Colin, a celebration of Pro Drive and the Group A in Brezza. Like it looked mega from the outside, and I know I spoke to some of the Irish guys last week. What was it like from your point of view?
It was very cool. It was very, very good for the whole family. And it was very, very special to see all the cars there with all the family there. So that was very cool. And of course, it was even cooler to drive one of the cars in the rally. But it's quite strange because you don't actually, I think doing the rally, you don't see as much as sometimes you do as a spectator, because the thing of Rally Legends is seeing all the cars doing donuts, but we don't see that. So I have to try do that as well myself. So, but it was a lot of fun. So I'd love to do it many, many times over, and I'd love to be back there.
Yeah, and like for your dad and for your granddad as well too. Like they seem to get the real buzz out of it too. Like for your granddad, like who just turned 80 last weekend, to be probably went over there and treated like a god for a few days. That even for you must be special to see that.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's super cool to see so many people still supporting their family and supporting me now as I'm trying to come through. And yeah, Jimmy is he's everyone's number one when he goes there and when he comes out. But I think he still thinks he's more of a hero when he goes to Ireland.
Yeah, we definitely think he's a god over here. And like as I mentioned earlier, like the Irish were there on force last weekend, and even the respect that like Andrew Nesbitt and Austin McHugh, guys that we consider our legends, the way they speak about Jimmy too, like it's just that shows the respect that the man has held him.
Yeah, he's definitely a hero in any aspect of rallying and a lot of other sports as well. So, well, motorsports. That is
Yeah.
not cricket or something, unfortunately. But but yeah, he's just he was one of a kind in his time, and he's definitely lived on a bit, and he's still with us, and he's still passionate about rallying. So, and I think he will be for a lot longer. It's never going to leave him. So,
Yeah. And
very good to see.
and I think that you're involved now too. You seems to have really almost reeled back the years for him too, because I seen him being interviewed on the BRC last weekend, and he was stepping down the stage, and he was just buzzing that he was giving you advice on how to tidy up the driving.
Yeah, he gets very into it. He was in the just after that. He was in the service park scraping all the mud out of the wheel arches. So he can't stay away from it. But it's very good to see. And also Holly, my cousin and Colin's daughter, she's come back into the rallying scene now. She's helping me with my social media. So I think everyone's very happy to see her back in the scene now as well. She's been doing some interviews with the promoter on the ERC event. So I think she's very happy to be back as well. So she's finding out a lot of stuff about her dad and about stories and everything. So I think she's very happy to be back as well.
Yeah, like it must be lovely to hear all the old stories and all the things that she probably never. She's maybe only hearing a lot of these things for the first time too. So yeah, that must be lovely. And like for yourself, then, like, competing in the last round of the BRC last weekend, the Cambrian. Good to be back in 4-wheel drive and on the gravel again.
Of course, yeah, it was first time in an R5 car, so I think we did quite well, and we had a pretty spotless weekend apart from the first stage and a couple overshoots. But that was just me learning the car. So, but yeah, I had a different co-driver with me as well, so that was also adding to the challenge. So it was pretty much thrown into the deep end in an R5 in the slippery Welsh stages. But no, it was a lot of fun. Good to be back in a 4-wheel drive car and be able to launch off the line without nearly getting stuck. So,
And
but, yeah.
that was a Scottish competitor was able to provide you with the car for the weekend as well.
Yeah, it was one of my sponsors, Willie Patterson from Asset Alliance. He's the one that's normally in that car, and he was competing in that car in Mull the weekend before. So I kept having to remind him to not to put it into the tree.
But like, isn't that the great thing about the rally community? Like somebody is prepared to go, here's my car, go and thrash it through the forest for the day.
Yeah, it is very good, and we can't really thank them enough. And Dylan Davies, the people who run the team that run the car, which were very good as well. So yeah, it was just a good weekend, and it was nice to not have any pressure with a championship behind it. So I think it was just a lot of laughs on the stages, and yeah, it was a very good time.
Yeah, and like to come away with a podium, like before the day started, what was your thought process behind it? Was it just to try and increase the pace as the day went on, or had you aspirations of trying to get the podium before the rally started?
No, I had no idea how close we'd be on times. It was kind of in the morning. It was a bit like, okay, we're not too far off here, but I still had no idea about getting a podium. But no, we went into the event with kind of a top 5 finish or just outside top 5 would be very good for our first time in R5. So we kind of beat expectations there, which was very good. And yeah, I couldn't complain at all.
And like you mentioned you had a change of co-driver. Like Mike has been beside you all year, this last few years now as well. You've built up a very strong bond there too. Like that's we've often talked in the podcast about that how that relationship. It's you trust everything he says, he trusts everything you do. Like that takes time, and is it hard then to get used to a different voice in your ear almost then?
Yeah, it was. Me and Mac have got a very good relationship now, and we're still hopefully going again next year. So, so yeah, we've got. It is quite. Yeah, it is in a way. It's quite difficult at the start because you're so used to the other co-drivers, your usual co-drivers' timing and pronunciation. That at the start, you actually really do have to tune in to a new co-driver, and that's kind of why I had the little spin and overshoot, just because you have to listen, and it was quite difficult to being in such a fast car for me for the first time, and then also trying to listen to the notes so thoroughly. But it just added to the challenge, I guess. And yeah, definitely. So I think I feel quite bad for Mac. He was very keen to get in an R5 with me, and I was keen for him to be in, but he had to head back to Australia a bit early, so unfortunately not.
No. And like then, you've got the taste for the R5 now, and we all know how good those cars are. Like, is it going to be hard to get back into the Rally 4 car again?
Yeah, I think yes, but at the same time, it will really help getting back into the Rally 4 car with pace and pace notes as well. So I think yes and no, but I think hopefully we'll be in a Rally 2 again a bit next year. I hope that would be very cool.
Yeah, and like speaking of next year, is there any thoughts ahead of next year, or is it still too early to plan that and stuff?
It's quite early yet. We're still trying to sort out stuff, but I think we'd like to make an appearance in some ERCs again, whether that's juniors or just getting experience. But we'll see where we get at the end of the year, and I'm sure we'll find up with a good plan and get some seat time. That's the main thing. So I think we'll be driving no matter what.
Excellent. And like we all know how expensive rallying is. Like without the likes of Dirtfish and your man Patterson you mentioned earlier, these things wouldn't happen. And I suppose like it'd be nice to pay tribute to all the guys that got behind you as well.
Yeah, exactly. I can't thank any of them enough. It's just if it wasn't for all of them, I wouldn't be doing any rallying. So it's a massive part in this sport, and I think it will continue to grow like that. But you need these good partnerships on your side, or else you wouldn't be doing the things you love. So yeah, many thanks to all of them, and hopefully we can continue the partnerships going for a long time.
So, Jack, first time to take on Rally Cambrian, and you come home a class winner. Congratulations! How was the event?
Yeah, thanks very much for having me on, Connor. It was it was definitely a good way to feel out the year anyway. But no, look, we were delighted now with the work we put into the event. Definitely reflected the results going into it. We definitely didn't think we'd come out with that result like that. But no, it was an absolute super weekend. Couldn't fault it from start to finish, and just a great way to feel out the year, really.
And what do you call it? I think that's your second time competing on a BRC event. You're on Rally Cardigan before. So I suppose this is probably your first time to take on a forestry BRC round. How was it? What were the stages like? I think some of them have been used in WRC Wales GB or Rally GB, previously.
The stages were definitely unbelievable. But no, it was our second BRC event, our first gravel rally outside of Ireland. So it was a challenge really heading over. But I suppose last year in the Billy Coleman Award interview process, we set out that we'd do selective BRC rounds as well as the National Championship and the Forestry Championship and the Motorsport Ireland Junior Rally Series at home. So Cardigan and the Cambrian were always on the cards from the start of the year. So we just picked them, and it wasn't intentionally planned come the end of the year that we do it in a Rally 4 car, but it kind of just fell that way, I suppose. But no, it was a great rally. The stages there are so tricky. Like in one stage, you could have 3 surface changes, and all the terrain changes there are crazy. To be fair, which is, I suppose, it's hard to get breaking points. I found there with all the different surface changes in such tricky stages. But no, it was a great weekend, and no, I couldn't fault it.
And what do you call it? Did you get an opportunity, like preparation-wise, before the event? Were you able to see anybody else's onboards or get an idea of the stages before you went over?
Yeah, we did. A lot of it, I done a bit of homework on it. A lot of it you could, especially from the Brennan stage, you could get it on WRC Plus. Going back over the years, I was in Paddy Robinson had an onboard up of it, and just little small bits like that were useful. And I just remembered the Brennan stage really well because it was actually came up on my phone while we were over there 6 years ago to the day. I was only 13. We went over to Wales Rally GB, following Craig obviously, and like myself and the Whack Patrick Croak and Bobo and all the rest of the crew were around over to watch Craig, and we actually stood there at the end of the Brennan stage on the tarmac bit of it just as you come up the hill. So no, it was definitely something special to do that stage myself, and I suppose win the Rally 4 class at the same time was even better.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of bringing back memories to you. And I suppose going to the event, what was the plan? Like, what were you hoping to achieve?
Going to the event, I suppose, like we only set out that we'd try and finish the event anyway, just to keep getting the mileage up, especially with it only being our second rally in a Rally 4 car. So no, intentions was just to finish the event and build our pace constantly, just getting more seat time throughout the day. And come the end of the day, we were hoping that we might be matching times with some of the faster JBRC lads like Kyle White or Kyle McBride or Aoife or Keelan Grogan. So no, the results were definitely more than we expected anyway. But no, the intentions going there were just to build confidence, build pace, and learn the Rally 4 car as we went along.
Like, you were quickest in the class on the first 2 stages. Like, were you shocked by that?
Yeah, definitely a small bit. I thought we didn't have that great of a first stage. When I was standing at the bottom of the road with Matt Cotton, and he was doing the interview at the end of the stage for the BRC, I was definitely shocked now come the end of it, because I don't know, I just couldn't really get into a rhythm in the stage. Didn't find the stage that nice early on, obviously really early in the morning, and clippy conditions and stuff like that. But no, it was definitely unexpected now, the first two stages. And I suppose me and John had a talk on the road section. We were like, how did we do that? Like, and he was like, he's like, keep the head down now. Stay doing what you're doing. Don't leave it get to you too much. So he definitely helped me a massive lot now over the course of the weekend. Now, just trying to keep a cool head and just get your head down. Don't mind what most people are saying to you, or someone's trying to wind you up or whatever. But no, I can definitely thank John McRae now to the very last, just for helping me through the weekend, and just everyone that helped that weekend, really.
Like, you went into midday service after the loop of 3 stages. I think you were 25 seconds ahead in the class. Like, so from the team surrounding you, what was the advice? Was it keep going, or was it like settle things down, or what were they telling you to do?
Yeah, look, the mood was good. Definitely going back into service, everyone was happy. But I suppose, as quoted by Davy Long and Tommy Mullins, it was you don't have to win any more stages now. All you have to do is match times and keep the head down. No need to go crazy. Maintain the lead you have, and just try and maintain the lead you have, really. So no, it was definitely the plan in service was definitely cool down, keep the head, and try and push on from there.
And then second loop of stages, one of them was cancelled. But what were the stages like? Obviously some of them it was a second pass. So like, were they cut up badly? How'd you get on with the ruts? Was that a bit of a shock as well?
Yeah, the stages weren't cut up that bad, actually, to be fair. But the first loop of stages 2 and 3 were joined together to make stage 5. So it was a 13-mile stage, and I suppose with stage 4 being cancelled, it was straight into the long stage. And 13 miles on gravel is definitely a long time in the car, and it was the longest gravel stage I ever done personally, anyway. So no, look, we just set out at the start line and said we'll just keep the cool head, get the hammer down, and yeah, we ended up going quickest on that stage. I didn't have any intention of doing that. I suppose we just kept plucking away through the stage, and any of the bits we had to back off for, we did, and had them well marked in the notes as dangerous bits in them. But no, look, they were great stages, to be fair. And obviously, just touching on that Brennan thing again, it was just amazing just to be coming up the hill, and just, after seeing Craig do the same thing, and all the big crew was there, it was just special to definitely come over the line down there.
And getting into the last stage, you had a 50-second lead in the class. So, how did you keep the cool? I'm sure you could hear every rattle, every sound in the Peugeot. So, how was the last stage?
Oh, it wasn't nice at all, now, to be fair. It was just me with nerves, though, really. But I suppose John took a lot of them away from me at the start line. He was like, just cool the nerves down, calm down. Once we get through it, and we get through it at a reasonable pace, we'll be fine. And then come the end of it, I think we only dropped 7 seconds to Kyle in there. So no, look, we definitely done something right in there anyway. But no, it was one of the worst feelings I definitely ever had anyway. And you're concentrating so hard, and no, it was scary, all right. But no, look, it was a great result come the end of it, and it was a big sigh of relief when we came across the finish line anyway, definitely.
So has it given you a taste now for doing a few other forestry events outside of Ireland, or is it a kind of wait and see what's coming up next year?
I suppose when we set out at the start of the year to do the 2 BRC events that we've done, and the ones we picked were absolutely amazing. Like Teac and the Cambrian went really well for us, and obviously we're looking at them. They're on the cards since the start of this year, so they're definitely on the cards for next year, with there being 2 amazing events, and the talks of the ERC coming to Teac. So no, look, they're definitely on the cards, but I suppose until championship dates and stuff like that gets released, I suppose it's all still up in the air, and we're still to make a decision on it.
Yeah, great to hear from Max, and first time out in R5, and then obviously that was followed by Jack Brennan against Storm and Drive by Jack. And I know it's a bit early yet for his plans for next year, but really looking forward to see what events he's going to be doing.
Yeah, like definitely, Jack is without a doubt going to be, I think the next big thing coming out of Ireland, and still only, 17? Is he? I don't even think he's 18 yet.
No, he's 19, yeah.
19, he's 19, there you are. But, what he has done in that short time, he's very successful in a rally car and the cross as well too. You know, like so. Yeah, this guy's going places without a doubt. And also, like last weekend was the Fastnet Rally, and to be decided, and that was, I suppose, well, the overall title. And Josh took it, and like, it looked really difficult conditions. You know, I suppose he got the foot down in the morning, got a wee bit of a gap to Callum then, and it almost looked as if Daniel Cronin was going to take the one, but Josh pipped him for it as well too, and took the title too. So I suppose maybe on the balance of the year, Josh probably deserved the title. And it's nice that Callum's got a title and Josh has got a title. I suppose that sort of sees where the year was, that it was those two that were the guys to watch all year.
Oh, they were. And you know what? It's always great when it goes down to the wire, because it does give you that interest in, sometimes when we see a championship wrapped up early, the final round can be a bit of a disappointment. There isn't much of a fight going on, or maybe not a great entry. So it was fabulous to see, but you're right, like really treacherous conditions at times on that rally. So fair play to them. They both kept it between the hedges and really did fight it out to the bitter end.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said, Daniel Cronin's just coming so close, but that's the joys of rallying, And then, Eamon Kelly was having a good run as well, but unfortunately got stuck in the ditch in the last stage, but still recorded a finish, and the times were encouraging. Not so maybe fortunate for Patrick O'Brien, slid off in the first stage, but, we all know how talented he is. He no doubt will bounce back. Another man then, friend of the show too, Eddie Doherty's been on a few times. Storm and drive for his first time out in the Skoda as well too. Come away with fourth at the finish. I have high hopes for Eddie next year as well.
Absolutely. Listen, and it's great to see these guys, changing up the machinery, getting a chance to go in the R5s, etc., and just to see how they get on.
Definitely. And then another title that was up for grabs last weekend was the Rally 4 category as well. And we keep going on about the young talent. That once again, this proved it as well. I catch up with Ryan McHugh and Declan Boyle.
It's tight racing now all year now, in fairness. Right from the first round, the championship was, you could win the class by 5 seconds, or you could lose it by 2 or 3. It was that close,
Yeah, like every rally, it was nip and tuck. The lead changed maybe 3 or 4 times over the course of 9 stages. Like, that's insane rallying. Like, for us, the spectators trying to keep on top of it. Like, it must be hard work for yourselves in the car trying to keep the push on for the whole time.
Aye, definitely. Hey, you come off a stage and you could be 2 up, and then you come off the next one, you could be 2 down. It was flat out the whole time. Like, and I suppose that's the way you really want it, and it was probably the second half of the year, you could say, was probably the best crack we ever had rallying. Like, that you're just taking 2 and 3 seconds, or you could be beat by 2 or 3 seconds, or it was mad now. But no, hey, we won it.
And sorry, I was just going to throw it over to Declan. Declan, like, you've seen the way this man has progressed over the last couple of years. Like, that type racing, that really pushes him on as well.
Yeah, it definitely does. In fairness, it is great racing. Even on the juniors last year, like, it was good racing. There wasn't as many competitors, but that class 2 or RC4, it's a brilliant class to be in now. It definitely does progress you on.
And like the cars, like, there's Fiesta, there's a 208. Like over the course of a rally, like, there's nothing really to separate them. There's no one car has an advantage over the other. Deck. And how do you find that the same?
Well, I suppose one car might be better on a Titan custody stage, and the other yoke might be better then on a flat out stage. It just really depends on the rally and what stages they provide. Like, so it's I'd say they're equal enough when all's thrashed out. Like.
And like, Ryan, from your point of view, like, this year really has shown that you are, you can go anywhere in the country and be fast, up, but north, south, east, west. You have put in the times everywhere you want, and you have built a championship. You might not always been the fastest every day, but it's all about gathering points. It's keeping the head and getting to the end and gathering the points.
Aye, definitely, Kevin. I suppose going at the start of the year, going to Midlands, like, there was about 10 in the class. Like, we were, if you could even have been 5th, like, it was our first day in a left-hand drive and new car and stuff, like, and ended up coming out of it being 2nd that day, and it was kind of we were kind of shocked, to be honest. Like, weren't that really far away from the pace at the very start, But no, it was good. Like, it's some racing all year. It was class. Like, I suppose we kind of made a couple of mistakes all year. Cavan, we threw it away. We were 18 up going into the last stage and ended up getting bait by 0.8 of a second. Like, it was it's overshot one of the last junctions of the last stage, and then Sligo ended up hitting the bank. So it was just kind of like throwing things away days. Probably not maybe having the experience. Maybe that could have been what maybe would happen. But look, we're delighted to get there at the end. It was a tough year, and it's class to get nice to get the class when it was so tight all year, like all racing.
Yeah, and like you said that about the left-hand drive and getting used to the turbo car and all that. Did that take a bit of getting used to at the start of the year?
I suppose it did. We done a good bit of testing, like that probably done a massive help, and obviously driving a left-hand drive car on the road would have been a big help. I got a left-hand drive car last August, like so. I was driving it for about 6 months maybe before the rally, like, and that was probably the biggest help for the first month or two. I know you're not driving far hard, like, but you're just learning and just
It's
I
more
probably felt
natural
that
then,
was the
kind of
most.
thing. It becomes more natural almost when you're doing it every day.
Yeah, exactly. You're in it every day, and you're not just in it at the weekends. Like I say, that was the biggest help, and there's nothing then really. Just trying to get used to the car, like so. But no, we're delighted, hey, to get it, like, and as you said, like it's so tight all year. Like it was just nice to get over the line now, was it? So
And Declan, the caliber of competitors you're up against, like those guys, like they're the same as yourselves. Like it's every second, every tenth of a second's counting, and like to have the respect that how hard you're going down the stages, to see how that somebody can get so close to you, you have to tip your hat to each and every one of them other guys like McHugh, Boyle, Keelan Grogan, all them guys. You were competing with every rally.
Oh, 100%. They're all great drivers. Like, doesn't matter what day you went out, you were never guaranteed I'm going to win the class today. Like there's any amount of them could win any day, and the whole lot of us all had our own day this year. Like, and it's just fantastic racing.
Yeah, and like whenever it is like that, tenths of a second, like that. Obviously, you have to be at the top of your game. Ryan has to be at the top of his game, but you also obviously, you can't afford to have a slip up or nothing like that because like it's every junction, every call is vital.
Yeah, exactly. All luck can go wrong very quick, but I thank God we're on the right side of that now this year, so it's not so bad.
And do you feel an extra pressure on you too? When it's like that as well, that you want to do the best job you can do.
Look, everyone wants to do the best they can do, but really, as I keep saying, everyone I can only read what's in front of me, or it's down the Ryan what he wants to do, like. But there definitely does be pressure some days, like. But that's it's grand, like.
Right, that's a good pressure because you're doing something you enjoy, I suppose, too. At the same time.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. There hasn't been a day you got out of the yoke yet, and you're annoyed, like. So.
Yeah. And like Ryan, from like your point of view, you have the brother Neil and all running the car and all. Like that's a great help to you too. That he knows what you want, and he can almost probably get the car set up for you in such a way that you're comfortable almost before you get in the car.
I definitely look, if I hadn't got Neil, like I probably wouldn't be rallying at all. Like so, it's a massive help. Like obviously, and sure, like we engine bother before Clare, like, and sure we didn't get outside, didn't go to bed on Friday night at all, like, and he towed the car down Saturday during the day, like, jeez, like it's unreal, like, to be honest, the amount of work he done. He rebuilt the engine in the car there before Cork, like, and never give any bother, like, so. Jeez, without him, I wouldn't be. I definitely wouldn't be sitting here anyway talking to you.
And like that, but it's things like that that makes a difference. That somebody is prepared to go that extra mile, as you say, not go without sleep on the Friday night, just to make sure that you were there to be, let you go ahead and get on, do your thing, go and do your recce. You worry about the car. I'll get that sorted. Leave it with me.
I definitely. I mean, ringing him one stage, and he's like, "I just put an engine in here now." And it was only like 2 hours into it, and I was like, I just looked at Declan and started laughing. Like, it's just the amount of time and effort. Like, it's unreal. Like,
Yeah. And like, because we see that, how professional the outfit they are, the cars they run, they rarely ever give any kind of mechanical issues at all, and like that's a testament to Neil and the team of guys he has there as well.
oh, definitely the boys be put in some effort. Like before a rally, Neil's 100% with everything. Like everything has to be 100%. So there's no cutting corners.
No, that doesn't leave the shed if it's not right.
Definitely.
And Declan, like for you, to have that level of prep behind you as well too, that gives you full confidence when you get into the car that it's up to the two guys behind in the car on the day. Then
Exactly. At least when you get into the car, you know the car is going to be 110% every day you're out. They're a great bunch of lads, like, and I suppose only for them, like we when we got where we did, like, I don't think the car gave any bother at all, apart from the engine. Was that wasn't his fault, but all year it was mechanically nearly faultless. Other than that, like.
And like going into the final round in the Fastnet, like it was imperative you just got to the finish, and like does that like bring its own pressures? Like you just got into like a bit of a battle with Gareth Deasley. Was there like a kind of like was there a thought process to be back off and claim the title, or was it keep the toe in it?
Wonder where shall that
In the
one
morning, we kind of just pushed on. In the morning, like we didn't get the first stage, we got stage 2, like, and then we ended up getting the block on stage 3. I would say stage 2 was our best stage all day, but no, like it was grand. The next 3 was grand, and then stage 7 and 8 now was. I was pretty brutal now that the last stage was so bad, like, but at that stage we didn't care about the class that day. We were kind of more worried about the championship. You're just hearing every noise in the oak, like it was it was just one of them stages.
And like when you got to the end of the last stage, was it like joy or was it relief that it was finally over, or what was the feeling in the car?
Just joy, like you used to say, any day you won the national championship and won your class, like it's you take it any day, like. So no, we're delighted to get over the line. Like, geez, we probably had our own bother, like in Cavan and Sligo, and just we put ourselves in that situation. We probably shouldn't have been in that situation, but with my errors, we were. So, no, definitely, hey, we're delighted to get over the line. Like I kind of thought we threw it away, like just going to the rally. Like I kind of was thinking, but I don't know. We're delighted to get over the line now. But as you said, like the racing's class, like, and I don't know where the racing's going to be at next year, but now wherever it's at, we'll definitely be going. Whether it's in the national or internationals, we'll be going.
And like Declan, from your point of view too, like I suppose that's 2 titles in 2 years. Like that's a pretty impressive. Ryan's only been rallying a very short time, and to see the way he's progressing like that, there, the sky's the limit with him if he puts his mind to it.
Yeah, exactly. No, he is a good driver now, to be fair, but it's just getting the backing and the fun together to make a package come together, and it's kind of what it's all about nearly at the minute. To focus on next year to see where we're going to be. So.
Yeah, and like we all know how expensive rallying is, and like Ryan, I suppose without the sponsors and people getting behind you, you keep saying you wouldn't be out doing what you're doing, and like you have to thank each and every one of them, I suppose too.
Oh, definitely. Hey, there's sponsors there from my very first rally, like Glenn Campbell, Bonnie Glenn, Kelly Group, Print Supplies, all them people's all local, like, and Johnny Jordan. Like without any of them boys, I wouldn't be rallying. Like, it is a credit. Like we were chatting the last night. Like I have very few sponsors outside of Frost's. Like, and it's mad too when you think about it. Like everyone that's from Frost's is sponsoring me. Like, and now it's nice now to be fit to do it. So local. Like it's unreal. Like.
Like Frost's, for anybody that doesn't know, is only a small village in South Donegal, and like to have such good people around you within 2 or 3 miles, I think that shows that how great a community you live in.
Definitely. It's No, going back to the very first rally, like there's been a lot of boys that's came on board for the first rally, like and still sponsor me too. And there's a lot of boys. There's another boy too for us to sponsor me, but he's not on the car. But he's heavily involved too. Like, and without any of these people, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like, not a hope. So.
Yeah, and I suppose we should sort of mention the Fastnet Rally at the weekend too. You know, where you finally came. Like, they seem to be fantastic stages down there. Yes, I know there was a couple of stages just lost with blockages and one thing and another, and but they look to be really really good stages down there as well.
Oh, definitely. They were probably that Missing Head was probably one of the best stages all year. Like it was a long 16K, like, but it didn't really feel like that long. It was that good of a stage. You didn't really want it then, to be honest. But stage two now was a bit of it was really and wet, but no, the same for everybody. They were just really slippy, like, but no, delighted now to get the class down there.
And like Declan, we all seen the weather warnings and one thing and another that was affecting Cork, and especially that area of Cork. Like, was that a worry too? Whenever you seen like a yellow weather warning coming in, and does it always be? Do you be considering all that when you're starting a rally as well?
On a Saturday evening, I suppose, we didn't know what was going to happen. The town was starting to flood there, but you were kind of wondering what's going to happen at all. But in all fairness, you just had to kind of put it behind you, and what's going to happen is going to happen, and that's really it. Like, but there's nothing really you could do about it if it was cancelled over the head of it. Like.
And you have to pay credit, I suppose, to the club that was running the rally. Like, they kept the whole thing on the road, like against all the odds almost.
In all fairness, they pulled out a few strings there. Sure, service area was flooded on a Saturday or whatever, and they weren't long relocating it. I know the trailer park didn't end great, but they done their best they could. They couldn't do anything about that.
No, like, you can all put all the different plans in place, but the weather is something that you can't control at the end of it all.
Definitely something you can't control. No, you could.
So Ryan, you talked there about looking forward to next year, and that hoping that your sponsors get behind you once again. Any real thoughts ahead of next year, or is it really we've just won this year, let's enjoy the moment?
I don't really know. Probably plan to do the Tarmac Championship next year, but I tend to go to the gravel next year too, so I might try and do a couple of rallies in England maybe, or maybe do that mixed championship in Ireland. I don't really know yet, but the plan was to do the Tarmac, like, so. But I will see. Hey, if I mind to do a couple of gravel rallies, might go to England to do a couple of them gravel rallies and see where we're at in the gravel, but I intended to go to Carlisle there a couple of weeks ago there, but the engine gave up on the car, like, so I couldn't end up going then. So, but no, we'll definitely get a bit of maybe gravel testing now before the start of next year and see where we're at, like, and take it from there. Really.
You see like how well the likes of Jack Brennan and Killian Grogan and them guys done there at the weekend in the BRC. Like, you've never tried gravel rallying before. It's obviously something you're wanting to get your teeth into.
Aye, definitely. Like, a lot of them boys have a lot of gravel done now. Keelan doesn't that much gravel done, but your boy Jack Brennan and Kyle McRae and them boys, they have a lot of gravel done, and it showed there. Like, Jack Brennan won that rally there at the weekend. Like, he was real quick. Like, so no, hey, them boys are all going hard. Like, and it's definitely something that we want to be involved in.
And like, what can we say? Like, Ryan, that's 2 titles in 2 years. Fantastic. It really is. I think another young guy that probably deserving a place in the MA Rally, can't we? I do think once he gets onto the gravel next year, I think, yeah, high hope for him. And also, I wanted to thank was Declan McBurry from Trailer Stuff and Blass and all the other sponsors as well. I kind of probably put them on the spot a wee bit, mentioning the sponsors, and always the way you always forget one or two. And then also, I got a chance to catch up with Paddy Robinson. Paddy is helping me preview the Harvest mini stages coming up now next weekend coming. Closed to Donegal Motor Club members, we mentioned that in the thing. But like 115 entries, fantastic, it really is, so that's going to be pretty special next weekend too, but let's hear from Paddy. It's been a year of great stage times, but just sometimes maybe wee bit of bad luck in developing the new car. Maybe the results haven't showed the pace that's been there.
Aye, how's it going, Kevin? I know you've pretty much hit the nail on the head there. We've put a lot of effort into our rallies, our recce's, our prep, everything, and the boys have put hundreds of hours into the car, and the signs are good, but ultimately, we've fallen short with bad luck here and there and mishaps, and I suppose you could say that's rally, but the green shoots are there. It's all going the right direction for us, So we'll see what next week brings.
Yeah, because I suppose with the Citroen, the great thing with them is they're always developing their, the Citroen wants the car to be successful, so they're helping you push the thing on as well.
Absolutely, there's no lack of support from Citroen. They're really pushing the thing to get the British and Irish cars at the sharp end, and listen, that they're thereabouts. They're working really well in other parts of Europe and in the World Championship. But I suppose Irish tires different, doesn't it, Kevin? And
Yes.
it takes a bit more work, but the thing's nearly sorted there.
Excellent. Because we've always seen how specialised the Irish tire is compared to anywhere else in the world, and that, I suppose, it really does show. Because remember, whenever Lowe came over here to do Donegal, they come over here with the ultimate French setup, and it was they were going down the wrong rabbit hole altogether, and it just had to be fixed very quickly for them.
Yeah, like I think wasn't it the Friday evening before Lowe was on the pace? I took the first service to dial all the stuff out of her. But it's no different here. I think it was at M Sport that had to kind of develop a gravel suspension for Irish tire. It doesn't stand ball when you think about it, but that seems to be the only thing that works over here. And sure, you see yourself the terrain. It's bumpy, it's choppy, it's gravelly, it's slippy, it's not much work all the time. It's a bit of compromise that seems to kind of all come together and make the thing work.
Yeah, and you have to say it seems to be a great, because of the nature of the roads, it seems to be a great breeding ground for new drivers. Look at the success our guys is having, in the British Championship and in the World Championship. So we're obviously doing something right here.
Yeah. I agree with you. The stages are so technical and bumpy and jumpy, and sure, listen, if anybody can drive a car hard here, they're going to be able to drive a car hard anywhere in the world. Because we're so specialised and so different. But it's good to see the boys out foreign doing well, and it gives younger lads, a bit of hope and desire to do well. So we'll see how it pans out for them, in the coming year.
Yeah, because it's always good to help to see there's almost a step ladder there for them to progress.
Yes, that Motorsport Ireland Academy now it's the talk of the whole World Championship as far as I can gather. The boys are putting in a massive effort, and it's really showing. Everything. The Co-Driver Academy. There's a couple of very good young fellas there, and it's all you do look at our drivers, the lineup we have, and they're mixing it with the best in the world at the minute. And hats off to them.
Yeah, and long may it continue. And then a wee bit closer to home, the Harvest coming up now next weekend. A closed event for only Donegal Motor Club members can enter the rally, but it shows the strength and depth in the motor club. 115 crews due to start, and fantastic stages up in that area as well.
Kevin, is class. So it is. I don't think there's another motor club in the country would be able to pull off an entry the way our club has. Anybody inside that top 10 is capable of a podium, and maybe if you go out as far as the top 14, them modified boys. That's class the whole way through the field. But like I say, anybody in that top 10, top 14 can pull a podium, and the modified battle is going to be class. The stages are deadly. In my opinion, the two stages would warrant a day in Donegal, so they would. That's good. Okay, they're typical West Donegal stages. They're narrow, they're bumpy, they're fast. They're medium to high speed stuff. But it's as good a rally as you'll get anywhere in the county.
Yeah, and as well as that too, you say the top 10, 14, is going there for a podium. That top 10, 14 could go anywhere in the country and be looking to finish on the podium. The quality is that good as well.
Absolutely, you can see it there. Sure, look, car one, Tarmac champion and runner up in the national champion. And then you have the two Boyles. They're racing each other all year long, and both did the top 5 in national events. Yeah. Ourselves, we're kind of tipping about there too, punching in good times and stringing stuff together. good days then bad days, but you have really steady boys behind us. You've got Joe McGonigal there and Darcy. Darcy will be a good man the sort 5 now when he gets the hang of it. Then
I see Darcy's out in the polo too, so that'll be interesting to see how he gets on there as well too.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how it goes because the guy can adapt to pretty much anything, so he can.
That's for sure. And then even the likes of Kevin Gallagher and the Darian, like we all know how quick Kevin can go, and if Kevin gets into the groove early on Saturday morning, he's not going to be far away either.
No, Kevin will be worth a punt now of 20 quid. You'd be odds on to get your money back, I think, with him. But not taking anything away from the other boys there. It's the modified's as good as it was in the international in June, and this is only a club event. It's mind-boggling, really.
And we all know that the reason the Harvest didn't run last year. So to get the event back this year again, in November, out of the tourist season, it's going to give a lift to the local community.
Absolutely, Kevin. It's really, really important that the rally came back there. The people of Creasla really wanted the event to run again, and we had Father John Joe there at the launch on Sunday night, and he relayed that to us all. And it makes it worth all the effort that the club went to make the rally run again. But listen, the rally's in Volcara, and the nearest place to get a bed now this week is Letterkenny, and I think they're starting to sell out as well. And you have to go as far as Glenties, maybe over as far as Donegal Town and Killybegs to get a bed on the other side. But you're not getting a bed local. That's not this week or next weekend.
Yeah, and this is probably something that we don't talk enough about in rallying, what it brings to the local economy. The amount of hotel beds, B&Bs, Airbnbs, etc. is full. The restaurants is all going to do so well out of it. Restaurants, cafes, petrol stations. The whole, this spreads out just, it's more than just the 115 cars starting the rally.
Absolutely. Well, it's 115 cars, and there's 2 people in the car, that's 230, and then you have maybe 3-4 service guys there. That's the numbers are going up all the time, and then spectators coming there. They're coming county-wide, they're coming from the north, they're coming all over to get here. And I'm in Dunfanaghy here at the minute, and there's not a bed to be got, and the restaurants will be all fully booked next week. Volcara likewise, God of Hork likewise. Even over in Annagry where I live, Cash and Lord's booked up. The restaurant, you'll be able at the restaurant next Saturday night. So I don't think the club play in that enough, when trying to sell events to people, that of the actual impact it brings to small rural areas. It's big with international in June, and it does huge stuff for Donegal and Letterkenny and Donegal Town. But it's felt far and wide, the benefits of the rally.
Yeah, because this is deepest darkest November. You go a long way probably at this time of the year to fall in with a tourist, one thing and another. But to hear all them beds full and such a spread of an area, the hoteliers, everybody has to be welcoming this event coming into the area.
Without a doubt. It's like I said there a minute ago, Kevin. It's just brilliant to see people doing well this time of the year and the back end of the year when really there should be nothing happening. And it's fantastic for the club. It's fantastic PR for us as a club, just to be able to help people and to bring the sport we love to the wider community. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and there's 2 stages, quite a small route as well too. Service, the 2 stages, all within a quite compact area as well too. So, as you said, the stages are probably typical West Donegal stages, but a real challenge in the 2 stages.
They really are. You've got the Derry Rail stage, the first stage. It's a shortened version of the Port Lake, and sure, it's deadly. It's maybe, I think it's maybe 6-7 years since it was included in Donegal. And and then you go across the terrain to come out onto the Muckish Road, and you go on the other side of the road then into the Cashnagore stage. And all along you're kind of going along the ridge of the Derryveigh Mountains, the Seven Sisters, and you're in under Errigal. It's perfect rally country, in my opinion. I might be a bit biased living over here, but they're 2 cracking stages. There's everything in them. They're fast, they're bumpy, they're choppy in places. There's loads of grip. There's not so much shiny in it. A real compact route. You leave Volcara, you head for Dunfanaghy. You turn in after Dunfanaghy, and it's a lovely. I think there's 13, 14 junctions in the first stage. perfect wee opener, and you, like I say, you literally cross the road into the second one, and you do the second stage, and I would say max 10 minutes you're back in service when you come off the second one, and everything's based in Filcara as well. So, it's going to be a very good rally,
Yeah, and like, I suppose something that we didn't really touch on earlier was, we've talked about being close to the club members. Like, this is a great opportunity for maybe guys that don't always get a chance to get out. The guys that every penny is going into rallying, and for them to go out and compete on the same stages as the likes of Callum Devine or Desi Henry, that's going to be a big thing for them. The guys run, maybe the guy running the 102 might be the only rally he gets a chance to do this year.
Absolutely, there's guys marshalling all year to collect points to do the Harvest Rally, and for some guys at the back of the field, this is their Donegal Rally, this is and the whole year's been building up to this here. I know one guy in particular, he's bought a new car there, and it was purely for the harvest, and his navigator is going into his third rally, and it's like Christmas again coming round,
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them can wait. They're really looking forward to it, and they're worried about the terrain. They're worried about suspensions and tires and all that. There, it's no different than running car 101 to car 1. The anticipation's the same, and the work's the same.
Yeah. Well, Paddy, we can't but only hope now that the weather's kind to us at the weekend, and that all goes according to plan at the weekend.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Kevin. We'll do a wee rain dance. I hope the rain stays away for us, and the rally gods are good to us next week.
Always a pleasure to chat to Paddy. He's one of them good guys of rallying, and it's always a pleasure to chat to him. So, before we go, can you please like, subscribe, rate, comment, all those things makes a huge difference as always, But that was Season 2, Episode 34. Until next time, take care, speak soon, and bye!